Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back. All right, all you positive heads, welcome to another episode of the Positive Head Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Beecham. I've got my co-host, Dalien the Alien, here with me. What's up, Dalien?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello, sir. Welcome back.
Oh, thanks for having me back. And all the listeners. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, bienvenidos, willkommen, bienvenue. Now we should add Portuguese. Bem-vinda.
Welcome, everybody. You're impressing me, Dalien.
I'm just going back to my early greetings when I was greeting everyone in multiple languages. But well, since we do have listeners all over the planet, even other planets.
You truly are a cultured international man of leisure.
I thought that's what you hired me for. You would supply the insightful interviews and your trademark, positive, enthusiastic style.
Right.
And I would help balance it out with some chill.
Got it.
Class it up a little bit.
Yeah. I appreciate you doing that. I need a little classiness in my life.
Oh, stop it.
So let's see what is going on today. Woke up to another wonderful review. It always makes me extra happier, when I wake up and see someone has given us some feedback. As I always say, this is a labor of love, and when the love comes back our direction, it makes it all so worth it. This is on iTunes, and of course, reviews on iTunes help us to reach more listeners, iTunes being the sort of holy grail of all things podcasting. So if you are enjoying the show, please take a moment and give us a review on iTunes. It means the world to us, and it certainly helps to spread the positivity as well because it helps us to get exposure. So this one is from Rami, the best of everything inspiring and positive. And Rami said, I discovered this podcast recently, and I can't believe I haven't seen it sooner. Brandon and Dalien managed to touch on all my favorite topics and teachers. It has now become a ritual to listen while I have breakfast each morning. I can't think of a better way to start the day. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rami. That's awesome. I love the thought of being in your kitchen as you make a delicious breakfast and sitting right there, in a sense, virtually, and helping to get your day started. So that is really, really stellar. Thank you so much. Let's see, moving along. I want to throw out there, we've got a new group on Facebook at the urging of several listeners, where people can, interact. Listeners can interact with each other, talk about all things mysterious, the ultimate nature of reality, podcast topics, things like that. It's called Positive Heads Unite. So please go to the group and request to be added as a member, and I will add you. And I'm really excited about this group and having people that want to share and connect and so forth. And of course, if you have any friends that you think would benefit from sharing and connecting with the group, invite them too. They don't have to be a regular listener or anything like that. It's just another way for us all to connect and talk about all the stuff that we love. And I'm sure you know others that would love to get in on it. So invite them and invite yourself. Add yourself. Let's see. Moving right along, I have a question that someone wrote in today or yesterday, actually. And it says, "Hey, Brandon, thank you so much for a dose of positivity every day and for the humor. I've been in kind of a weird place in my journey the past few weeks, and I'd like to borrow your brain. I started meditating almost every day at the beginning of the year. Extreme anxiety and attachment is what led me to meditation. And in March is when I began to really seek. At the beginning, as with most things, I was completely blissed out, but in the past 2 weeks, I've been feeling like I'm almost regressing. I'm having difficulty really getting into my meditations and just noticing more negative thoughts than usual. It's almost like I wanted it too much. I make a point to put a positive spin on things as much as possible and accept things for what they are, but I've definitely noticed a difference and I'm just not quite sure why or what to do. You guys have really encouraged me, and in all honesty, you've changed my life. I've turned quite a few friends onto the podcast and they just absolutely love it. Again, thank you for all the hard work you guys put into spreading the love and being a part of the positive movement." Well, what a great question. This is a question actually from Melissa Robinson. Melissa, thank you so much for taking the time to write in and sharing with us and connecting in that way. We love it when anyone sort of connects with us. And anyone else out there, please send in your questions through positivehead.com, Facebook, however you want to reach out. You can even leave us a voicemail. But to answer your question, Melissa, I'm sure so many people can relate to what it is that you're going through, and the sort of up and down that comes along with the path that you're on. And I saw a quote recently: "The strongest position you can be in is complete surrender." And if you can take that and you can surrender to what is, understand whatever's happening in your life, whatever the feelings that are arising, whatever's coming through in the moment, whatever is landing on your plate in any given day, and you, instead of resisting it, you surrender to it. You send love to it. You accept it. This is a part of who I am. I understand that life is an ebb and flow with peaks and valleys, and the valleys make those peaks that much sweeter. And the more I accept those valleys, the grander the peaks I will rise up to. And when you can understand that is part of the process, you being blissed out and then going into the valley where it's sort of like, as I always like to put it, this whole journey, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's what you're doing. Yeah, it does feel like a regression. Guess what? Because it is a regression of sorts. It's a part of yourself that's still there, and that's okay. Love it. Send love to it. Send acceptance to it. Surrender to it. That is the path to transmute it into the next plateau of realization and awareness, where you become more of the butterfly. Love the caterpillar when you slip back into it. Love it, love it, love it, because without the caterpillar, there would be no butterfly. And this is the path. The path is the goal. You're on it. You can't, there's nothing that you would want to do differently. It's why your soul chose to be here. You are here because out of all the options in eternity, you chose to play the character in the role that you're in now. So accept that, whatever comes along with it. It is all so beautiful when you fully understand. So that being said, I would like to share a little wisdom from the wonderful Oprah Winfrey and Mark Nepo. I believe it's how you pronounce his last name. This is a clip I found on Super Soul Sundays. It's at Oprah Winfrey Network, Super Soul Sunday. You can find this on the OWN YouTube channel, OWN. The difference between acceptance and surrender. Listen to this.
You write so much in 7,000 Ways to Listen about the power of acceptance. And I wondered if you think that's the same thing as the power of surrender. Because when you spoke of learning the lessons that your cancer was there to teach you, and we spoke the last time about how there are no experiences that are wasted, I think one of the things that I learned the most from you is your ability to do that thing that you talk about, and Michael Singer talks a lot about in Untethered Soul, is allowing the thing, and in your case it was pain, and for a lot of people it's loss or it's disappointment, allowing yourself not to push against it, but to let it pass right through you, allowing it to pass through
to
you.
meet it, to meet it, and to meet things. The Buddhists often talk about this beautiful and difficult aspect of seeing things as they are. So to meet what comes to us so that we can stay in conversation with it.
Yeah.
I think the most challenging thing of our age is staying in conversation, staying in relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's the relationship that brings us back to our aliveness.
And being able to, is that the same thing as acceptance, though? That's the same
Well,
thing?
surrender for me, and I experienced a lot of surrender during my cancer journey, but surrender it's like a fish finding the current and going with it.
Yeah.
That's surrender.
Oh my God, I love that so much. You know what? Because I believe that everybody in life has their own current and their own flow. Your job in life is to figure out what that is, what lane that is, and how you line up with the center and the universe and everything around you, and follow that flow. Your job in life is to try to not be the salmon swimming upstream all the time, but to find your flow.
Acceptance, though, I would say, is when you're finding that flow and you run into driftwood or a stone or get caught in the bank, is accepting that and the larger situation. So,
it's so hard to know when to accept and when do I fight to get out.
Well, accept to me doesn't mean that we stop evolving.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual perception.
Yeah.
So I have a chapter in there about not getting what we want.
Yeah.
And so let me speak.
Let's talk a bit about that.
Yeah, and that I think is around
before
acceptance.
You go to not getting what we want, I just want to clarify that acceptance before, because we're all in difficult circumstances at some point in our lives. And you have to be able to acknowledge and accept where you are before you can figure out how to get out from where you are.
Yes, and we're so attached to the identities, relationships, and dreams that have brought us this far.
Yeah.
And they're dear. But like a cocoon, when a butterfly emerges, the cocoon has served its purpose. It doesn't mean it's false. It means it served its purpose.
Ooh, that's so good.
And our dreams...
And everything in life serves its purpose.
Our dreams, our identities, our ambitions, our relationships, they often are cocoons that lead us to the next.
Yes.
And we get so understandably attached that we get in conflict when it breaks or falls away, that we don't see what it's opened us to.
Such powerful insight there. Meet it, see things as they are, stay in conversation with it. I love the analogy of surrender is like finding the fish, finding the current that's going with it. Acceptance is when you hit that driftwood, and we all hit the driftwood from time to time, right? Love the driftwood. What about that? Instead of, dang, this driftwood hurts, I can't stand it, I don't want it. What, have you ever tried to just wrap your arms around the driftwood and say, thank you for banging me on the head? It's it's going to make the peak so much higher. This lump of coal that has been served up is really always a diamond in disguise, and I know it's pointing me to something really beautiful on the other side of the bump, right? And I also really love and can relate to how Mark put it there. We are all attached to our dreams. We get so attached to these dreams dreams, and they sort of drive us, right? They're what push us forward. They're what make us want to get up in the morning and attempt to do anything. And I know for me, I've been Dalien, a big dreamer my whole life. And I've had some of my dreams, fall flat, and even have my dreams where they're right there in my face, so close, to the big breakthrough with, take our band all those years ago, right there on the verge, playing with all these bands that went on to be huge, artists. And, the last company, here's a $30 million offer. Oh, never mind, take it away. All goes away in 12 hours, and so many things that I've strived for that have fallen flat or gotten so close. And what have I done? I've picked myself up. I've dusted myself off, and I say, wow, what a beautiful experience. I can't imagine the goodness that is on the other side of this sort of hardship, right? Oh, wow, I got really bonked on the head by the driftwood here. Can you imagine when I accept this fully with all my heart and move through it? It doesn't mean there's not difficult moments or moments of being down, but you shift that perspective, you find the magic in it, and you know that there's just that much more beautiful on the other side of it. There's unlimited abundance at our disposal. The source from which we all emanate has so many opportunities. It doesn't run out of opportunities. It's not if, but when. And, in understanding that your dream that you had, it's sort of like the cocoon for the butterfly. It served its purpose. Your dreams got you there, but don't be too attached to them. Have them, but then release them without expectation. This is such a powerful few-minute talk here that talking about the difference between acceptance and surrender. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's really a big one. I mean, that's one that we could revisit really a lot. So I'm glad that you brought that up here. And, of course, it plays into the question that I think it was Melissa that you said asked the question. Well, I just had an interesting little moment of, I guess, a psychic premonition, because a lot of times, Brandon, you will play these clips to where I can hear them. But this morning or for today's session, we really didn't have that opportunity because I was just busy. So I was just elsewhere. And you previewed this clip. Well, I didn't know that there was a water analogy. I came up with my own water analogy earlier when you were asking the question. And I didn't know that there was a reference to water and rivers and stuff. So I came up with my own, which is a little bit different. But I hadn't seen the notes that you had here on the clip, so I didn't know that there was a reference to water. Mine was that, I suppose in part I was thinking of my sister Laura, because she goes with her partner on, I guess she enjoys going a lot on these white water, rafting trips, right? Well, she'd be in one of these kayaks. The thing is, I picture something like that. Life is a river, of course, I say a lot of times, but if you're caught in a raging river and you fall into it, the best thing isn't going to be for you to ball up into for you to grab your knees and just tighten up really, and hope for the best. You're going to get banged up against a rock really quickly and really hard. That's going to be really painful. Yeah. The best way to deal with a situation like that is to try your best to swim, right? Try your best to go with the flow. Yeah, don't even resist. You will want to float. You will want to try and be limber as much as you can, right? Right. And that entails that surrender thing. I mean, to me, the whole concept of surrender does, inspire a lot of understandings, but it seems like it is something that you can definitely always do that is going to bring you the maximum benefit if you understand it like they're saying there. They're making that distinction between acceptance and surrender. And that's something that, of course, is important to know, because you can, I suppose, get those two confused and then not really engage in true surrender, which is what's going to allow you to overcome something, really, or to really just tap into that essential quality that you have that transcends all, right? That, goes beyond, being caught in the up or down cycle, right? You're winning sometimes, of course, in life you will win some, lose some, as they always say. So, but you're much bigger than that. You're much bigger than the winner or the loser. You're everything. You're always winning from the proper perspective. It's always serving your higher self. It's always life is happening for you and not to you. And it's such an important lesson that we sort of circle time and time again on this show. So, Dalien, I think we're down to it for today. And, I had a song queued up, but I think I want to switch it to a different song that came to mind. And I think we even played this song a long time ago on the podcast, but I think it's worthy of playing again. This will be the first time we played the same song twice. Which one is that?
it's your song and my brother's song that your project, The Variants, you wrote maybe 5-6 years ago. And the name of the song again, what is the name of the song?
Oh, well, we actually originally called it Surrender.
Right.
But we ended up calling it Undone, No Holding On, in parentheses.
So let's take a listen now, very appropriately, the lyrics of the song that my brother wrote along with Dalien's wonderful guitar playing here. And check out an album that really wasn't heard by the public too much. You guys made it and it kind of got shelved, and it's such a brilliant album. You can actually find it on SoundCloud, right?
Oh, yeah.
SoundCloud.com/The Variants Music, I think.
It's The Variants Music with dashes. So the dash variants dash music. And thanks for the shout out there.
Yeah. People check it out. Dalien is a very talented man, and check out Undone.
So take